comments from anyone on what to change the name to. So guess what? It's still Vermont Synergy. We will be changing it to something like Vermont News and New England News or other news, world news, things like that. Today, guess what? We're doing a mix of news items. So I'm going to put the camera over here so I can talk to you this way. And I think it just kind of, no, I guess the sun is in our eyes a little more. Then we'll leave it here, guys. Sorry about that. So for those of you who love, 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 love birds like I do, you know, we've been talking about me and the Shuki for the past few days. I'm going to put the camera on him over here. So the cage is a little bit covered up, you see here. And they can see their movement in the camera, so I'm just going to take the camera off for now because they are nice and calm now. The few days ago, a couple of things, as I was explaining to you, I believe happened with the finches, the male finch in particular. The male finch's role is to really be protecting the nest, making sure that the female is rested, and he kept chasing her out of the nest. He didn't want her to have to work in or on the nest. So that was the whole story behind that. But what kind of triggered it, as I said, is the routine of me giving main meal of eggs 2 days in a row and then rice 2 days in a row was broken. They are extremely routine. And you know what? They're routine oriented and they look at their owners. I found out from research, they make you are part of their flock. Seriously, guys, you are part. So they look at me. I don't have the wings, but I'm part of their flock. I think it's precious. So anyway, with that, we covered some of that the other day. So today, guess what? It's spring. Even though it's freezing in Vermont, I gotta tell you, they said it's 48 degrees. It is cold out there, guys. I was out there all day, right up till about an hour ago. And I ran out because I had an appointment without my coat. And I was absolutely freezing. And I ran out without a coat because it said 50 degrees. It's not 50 degrees, guys. It's 48 degrees with a really, like, 10-degree lower chill factor. Let's put it that way. If you can have the chill factors in 40, 48, 50 degrees, right? Okay, so this is, we got a mix match over here, and I'm just picking the light articles because guess what? The next clip we're going to be doing, and I don't think it's today, guys, because I have a couple of calls out. I'm waiting for a couple of calls to come in. Number one, guys, I called the Historical Society again. So they may have tried to get back to me, and I'm just not seeing it. So it could just be that. But as far as I know, they haven't gotten back. So I tried them again. So with that, this is by Lori Vanover, and it was published January 22nd, 2026, and it is again by our favorite Birds and Blooms. So this is an article I think it's really something we don't normally think about. And I'm just going to show you the title here. It's like, don't fill your bird bath with garden hose water. And then it's telling you, oh, why. So I read the article already, so I'm just going to paraphrase a little bit of this. And then I picked a few other news items happening in Vermont to share with you. And not the shade, or so much the shade, but and yeah, somebody said to me, yeah, I can't wait to change the name of the channel because like I said, a lot of people aren't getting it. But this is this article by Birds in Bloom. It's it says basically it's saying, is the hose water harmful for your birds? And it's basically, I'm going to read part of it because it does say that it is, like initially when you turn it on, and this is the reason. So somebody asked, can I use the hose water to fill bird baths, or is the PVC harmful for the birds? And birding experts Ken and Kimberly Kaufman, and you've heard their name before, guys. They are experts in this field, and they say it is true that ordinary garden hose contain chemicals that could harm the birds. Besides the PVC, which means polyvinyl chloride, the hose may contain lead or other toxins. Small amounts may leach into the water, that the hose is pulling from, especially when the water sits in the hose for days. And it does, doesn't it? It sits in the hose for days, guys. If your situation where the only practical way for you to fill the bird bath is with the garden hose, it says here, let the water run for at least a few minutes to wash out most of the contaminants. And a lot of us don't like to do that because we know that we're preserving water, even though the water table is rising. And this is a fact. It has risen through the entire state of Vermont. They are literally going through all of the riverbanks and amending of them and restructuring them, doing different using different methods to pave the roads even, because the water table has risen. It's also possible to buy hoses made of safer materials. That is the way I would go, because I don't like the idea of having to run the water. You know what I mean? Because then you're wasting it. And with the way things are, climate-wise and everything, it's just it's better if you can figure out how to filter. So here's a couple of other ideas. Can you use the water from a rain barrel? And this is what it says. I would have said immediately when I saw that question, I'm like, yeah, you can use water from a rain barrel. Saved rainwater can be used to irrigate the trees, the shrubs, the flower beds, feed into the rain garden, or wash your home or your car. But because roof water can contain droppings, what's the matter, Mishuki? Hopefully I'm not talking loud. I'm trying to talk quietly for the birds. So moving over, guys. They've just gotten nice and quiet because I've been home working on my artwork like I normally do, which they're used to. But, and because I think the other thing that got Mishuki upset the other day is he was hearing somebody stand in the stairway, but I was also gone longer than I was supposed to be. And he noticed that, they noticed that. It says in research, they notice everything. So anyway, because roof water can contain droppings from birds, moss, and roof tile material, it's not recommended to use rain barrel water to put in your bird bath, okay? So it says, well, how do you properly fill the bird bath? Well, you got any guesses out there? If anybody's scrolling, we're doing just a mix of little news articles today in Vermont. How do you fill your bird bath, guys? So to me, this was the most logical, answer. I would have thought this is exactly what I thought of. And it basically says, fill a water pitcher with water from your kitchen sink and another drinking water source. Avoid water that is treated, though, with softener salt. So when I was up in, way up near Canada, as you guys know, on the Canadian border, guess what? Our water up there was it's hard as a rock. It was super, super hard, right? And they're most likely, anybody would be putting this softener salt in it. Then use the water to fill your bird bath. Keep the water shallow, like 1.5 inches to 2 inches, so you don't need to have a deep bird bath, okay? Even these little pet finches, if that water is too deep, they will not get in it, guys. And consider adding stones for them to perch on. And I was thinking of that for their bird bath here. So let me show you what they're showing a pretty flat surface. So see, with the stones. So now the only other thing adding those stones is you're going to be cleaning those too. So, you know, maybe add 1 or 2, something like that. So let's see. Now this says to clean and rinse the bird bath every couple of days, and use the stiff brush to remove any dirt and debris. Then add fresh water. Keep offering fresh water. Guess what? Even during the winter. They're saying even in the winter. You may have heard that offering water to birds in the winter is dangerous, but a heated bird bath is the safest way. So, when I had my house and for 20 some odd years, guess what? I gave the birds water all through the winter. And it didn't hurt them at all. They drank it before it froze. It froze. But yes, they have the heated bird baths, okay? So you can use those. That's a nice way to feed your birds, okay? And, or to make sure that they have water. Now, this next article, so that's the article in Birds. I hope, if you guys have any questions on any of the birds here in Vermont, let me know, because now I have 3 other little clips that I'm sharing with you today, but they're just on Vermont, okay? And we're going to be getting into this news article that's out on the 13th. So get this, guys. I'm sorry, 11 scientists, you probably heard of this, top scientists with NASA, many of them nuclear astrophysicists, intelligent people, super smart, with classified information, some of them, but they've gone missing or have turned up unalive. Guess what? China just reported that there are 9 of their top scientists gone missing. So we're going to dive into that one because I found an excellent professional YouTuber, very ethical, and she's an attorney, and she knows what she's talking about. She covers this current investigation. So I'm going to take you with me on that one. Okay, so with that, this says, this article, if any of you know Vermont, you know the University of Vermont Medical Center, okay? You know Dartmouth, okay? So Dartmouth is on the southern end of the state of Vermont in New Hampshire, and check this out, guys. Dartmouth groups renew calls to rename Arts Center bankrolled by Epstein associate. Yeah. So we're going to read this one. Calls to remove Black's name from the Visual Arts Center. This is how it starts. Date back to 2020-2021, when links between Black and Epstein began to grow greater scrutiny. So this article was just written on April 21st, 2026. Here you go. This is what the front of the Arts Center looks like. You see the very odd sculpture. kind of interesting. So, a broad cross-section of Dartmouth College community has renewed calls to remove the name of the financer Leon Black, an alumnus and a former trustee from the college's Visual Arts Center. In response, the college's Board of Trustees has announced that it will appoint a committee to study naming across campus as its next meeting. For critics of Black, Leon Black is his name, who paid, check this out guys, $170 million to Epstein after Epstein's 2008 guilty plea to soliciting prostitution, the trustees' action amounts to stalling. Dartmouth leaders should have removed the name of the Black Family Visual Arts Center years ago. And this is in quotes. It says, "I'm glad they're being thoughtful, but they've really had a lot of time to think on the issue." Because look, we're in 2026, guys, already. Diana Whitney, a 1995 Dartmouth graduate and co-founder of Dartmouth Community Against Gender Harassment and Sexual Violence, you can say on YouTube, said in a phone interview, "I think any more delay on this any more delay on this is unconscionable." Say that 5 times real fast. She goes, "I support and the students calling for the name to be removed from the Visual Arts Center," former Representative Annie McLean Custer said in a phone interview. Custer, a 1978 Dartmouth graduate, revealed in 2016 that she was also in that category. I'm not say it on, even though it's written in the newspaper, I'm not able to say it. I think that it's an important moment for Dartmouth. There's a long and sordid history of this on campus, and Dartmouth must take a stand, and I call the president and the trustees to step up and do the right thing. So that's just a little clip here, citing revelations from the Epstein files. Women of Dartmouth, the college's largest alumni affinity association with more than 30,000 members, wrote to President C.N. Bealock and the trustees on April 7th to say that the group will firmly support the college renaming and this is the name of it right now, Black Family Visual Arts Center, by removing both the Black family and Leon Black's 1973 names. So they just don't want his name associated with it, based on him being involved with that person. So I wanted to read that to you guys. And so that's some Dartmouth news. And let's see here. This is, hold on one moment. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to cover with you, for those of you who love animals, I was curious right now in 2026 what the endangered wildlife species are here in Vermont right now. And so these include the Indiana bat, the northern long-eared bat, the dwarf wedge mussel, the Puritan tiger beetle, and the lake sturgeon. So they're not naming anything else. They're naming the fish, the birds, the mammals, And they named some other mammals here, guys. The northern long-eared bat, the tricolored bat, the Canadian lynx. Okay, so I'm going to show you what the Canadian lynx looks like, and I know I've seen this. I know I've seen the Canadian lynx here in Vermont. I know I have. Yeah, totally. I actually believe this is actually what I thought it was a bobcat, but it looked like this too, guys, that I had in my backyard at one point. You see, it has no tail. If you notice, it has no tail. Okay, so that's the lynx. And the birds that are endangered are the Bicknell's thrush, golden-winged warbler, Henslow's sparrow, olive-sided flycatcher, and the red-headed woodpecker, and the rusty black bird. And what we're going to do is go to Cornell website, and I'm going to review some articles with you on birds that just in general in the world are endangered at this point. The fish, lake sturgeon, and the eastern sand darter. Invertebrates, dwarf wedge mussel, so it's a type of mussel, Puritan tiger beetle, and the rusty patched bumblebee. Let's see what that looks like. Oh wow, this one is endangered. You see the rusty, he does have a rust color on him. This is the rusty patched bee. Okay. And for the reptiles, I didn't know this either, that the spotted turtle is endangered. Check this out, guys. This is a Vermont turtle. Look how beautiful that turtle is. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's endangered. Okay, if any of you have seen a spotted turtle or a lynx, let me know. I'm really interested in that. And those were just kind of a mix of news articles I wanted to share with you today. And okay, and with that, I hope you have a beautiful day. If you have any questions, let me know. When and if I do hear from the Johnson Historical Society, I will let you know. But so far, that is pretty much the information that I had presented that we've got on the Julian Scott house. If there's anything else out there that comes into my email, and I'll share it with you. But as of we know, on May 1st, it's going to be demoed. I'd like to be there for that and get that on the video for you, and so you can see that. So with that, I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.